what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Madonna, and welcome to another great edition of the Post Credits. This one's very special because we're doing this one live, guys. I think it's gonna be the first time we've done this live in a cool minute, but it
Yeah,
is
I don't think we've done a post credits live since
yeah,
we call it the post credits.
really very special episode. We Some of us have just watched Fantastic Four First Step. Some of us have watched it twice already. Looking at you, Adelia. We are
I
gonna hit.
haven't watched it twice.
Oh, I thought you watched it already. Twice.
No,
Oh, you're going to go watch it again.
I'm probably gonna go see it again. Yeah.
Got you. So we've all gone our first watches with the Fantastic Four First Steps. But without further ado, let's introduce the panel to break down this movie. Is none other than Adelia. Adelia, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited to talk about this movie.
Great, that's great. But joining us as well is Justin. Justin, how are you, my man?
Doing pretty good.
All
Doing
right, all
pretty good.
right. All right, should we just, go down to the simple question?
Sure.
Did you like this movie? Yay or nay?
I love this movie.
All right, Adele, you love this movie. Tell me why.
Matt's back.
No, Matt's back. But also joining us, Matt. Matt, he did drop out, but now he's back. Matt, how you doing? All right, Matt.
Matt.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that response. But Adelia, you
Yeah.
said you like this movie. Why?
I love this movie because they made a movie about a woman who is becoming a mother. Sue Storm literally has a child in space in this movie. It's so awesome.
Pretty cool.
But they didn't make her weak. They didn't make her the way a woman who is pregnant is normally portrayed in a film. Um, if this had been another era or another studio or something, they might have said there might have been a conversation in here about, is it safe for Sue to go into space now that she's pregnant? Things like that. None of that happens in this movie. She just goes and she has the kid in space. And when she comes back, she is a badass at the end of this movie. And I absolutely love the way that they treated Sue Storm in this movie. She's my MVP of the movie, if that isn't obvious enough. But there's a lot to love about this movie, a lot. But that is one of the main reasons why I love it.
All right. Justin, yay or nay? Did you like this movie?
Like I like this movie a pretty good a bit. I think I told Adelia that I think this is like one of the best movies. I think it's the best one they've done since the last Spider-Man movie. I will say on like what Adelia just said is like my deal would have been is like it's not about like the at that point, especially when you're that far pregnant, it's not about 100% about just like the woman. It's about like the unborn
I
child.
know.
You're going to go see possibly Galactus, like somebody that's going to destroy your whole world. I don't know if I would have been like, hey, all super cool and fine and dandy with letting my wife go on a trip, but it's not because of her personally. It's because you have an unborn child that could like have something very bad happen to it on this trip. And come to find out, it happens to be the thing that Galactus is willing to like take to save the planet. So that could have been a very dumb move. It kind of was a dumb move in some ways, but like they were able to escape. So then it became something else. But yeah.
Well, I think they were just there to negotiate, so they were just there to talk, and then he attacked.
Bro, you're talking about
Afterwards.
something that can destroy a whole planet.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Let's
they
be
didn't
clear-
they didn't know that
Let's be clear. At this point, they don't know what Galactus looks like.
exactly.
They don't know how big Galactus is. They don't know any of that. They think they're going to negotiate probably with a person, like Shah LaBall is the Silver Surfer or whatever. They don't know Galactus is Galactus at
right. But the one thing they do know is that it's that person or thing has destroyed multiple planets.
right.
They know all that before they go. So to me, I'm like, hey, this person could be super ass crazy evil.
I don't think
Like,
they know that yet. That's afterwards. After they
bro,
were.
so you're telling me somebody destroys 10 planets, you're going to be sitting here saying that they're not evil?
They
They're
don't know he's
evil, bro. They
destroyed.
killed 10 planets.
No, they find that afterwards. She comes down and says, "You're marked for death." Then let's go talk to the guy.
Hi,
Then
Greg.
afterwards,
They
trick.
literally
No,
find
no,
him by tracking destroyed planets. That's how they find where he's at.
no. They track Shah LaBall afterwards, right?
No, that happens before they
no,
go. They know that he's destroyed planets.
Yeah.
They're literally getting messages from planets that have been destroyed. They talk about
No, they don't know that yet until after till the end.
No, 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 no.
Johnny
They
figures
don't
out.
know
No,
what
no.
they're saying.
Johnny figures out what they're saying, but they
Yeah.
are getting those
They do
messages.
know that they have
They're getting
messages.
messages, but they don't know what they are.
Right,
Yeah.
but they know what they're coming from. They're coming
Yeah,
from
but
that
they don't know
unified
that they
planet.
didn't. They didn't know there were distress signals yet.
No, if I'm remembering correctly, Reed definitely does know that they're getting signals from planets that aren't there anymore.
Yep.
Oh, did I miss? I think I missed that then.
You might have missed that.
Well, you just got it
My
like in the
my
wrong order, talking about like
yeah,
when it
yeah.
happens. You think it happens afterwards. I'm talking about it happening beforehand.
Okay.
My point, well, Justin's point about the unborn child and all of that is very true. It's why pregnant women can't fly after a certain part of the pregnancy. Is that most of the time women who are pregnant in film or television or whatever are treated like they're weak and can't do anything, and they didn't treat
Badass.
Stu that way,
Badass.
Right.
and I appreciated that.
Right. Like, so for instance, they could have still did the same thing without her going on the trip. I don't really hate the fact she went on the trip, guys. I'm just saying, like, hey, Adelia
Why
said
are
that.
you harping on it then?
I'm not harping on it. I'm just
Why
saying
are
that like
harping on
they
it?
could have did it like where she's wanting to go and they have to like force her to stay kind of thing or some situation because of like this or that, and still made her look like a strong character, like she's not weak.
Yeah, but moving away from the space part of it, her taking Franklin once he was born out in front of that crowd of protesters in front of the Baxter building
Powerful.
and giving that speech,
Powerful.
I wanted to run through a wall when I heard that speech.
Yeah.
Like, I love Sue Storm in this movie. Vanessa Kirby did a phenomenal job. Easily the best portrayal of Sue Storm we've had. Jessica Alba did fine in the first two movies. I don't even want to talk about Kate Mara in Fan Four Stick because it was ridiculous. This was great.
Entire movie was ridiculous.
Not
Yeah.
like I love this part, like what she's talking about, because it comes down to a simple premise. If this isn't your kid, you're gonna be one of the massive people that's like, yo, bro, one kid for the save the whole world. How selfish are you? But if you're any of these people that are a parent, you're gonna have the total opposite like situation where it's like, nah, man, like I ain't. Why do I got to sacrifice my child?
If you were in Sue's shoes, you'd be doing the same thing. And that's what I
Right,
like about
logically.
towards the end where she's like, I won't sacrifice my kid for this planet,
But I won't
but
sacrifice this planet
for my kid, because we're all family.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Oh, it's
that's
such a beautiful speech.
exactly, yeah,
Such a
pretty much.
beautiful speech.
I loved every moment of this, man. I love this movie, man. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Also, too, you know what I like? Hit us a deal.
Greg's in the chat saying, "Would y'all have told that Galactus wanted the kid and he will spare Earth if it got it?"
Yeah, you don't know that. What if he like lied and said, "Oh, give me the kid"? Well, he did. Keep his bargain up for Shia LaBeouf, but
Yeah.
you don't
Now,
know yet.
see,
You don't
Jessica
know.
Alba was fine, Shug. She was fine.
that's
Vanessa
something
Kirby
though,
was
Ferris,
phenomenal.
right? That's something fair, so that they didn't find out till later.
Exactly.
So kind of like what you were talking about earlier in the other discussion is
Mhm.
on this one you would be correct. Like they didn't know that until later after they had already made
Shug,
like kind of their
don't
decision.
lie.
Give it up,
Do
my
not
kid.
lie.
I don't know. I mean, like it's a baby. Like, listen, maybe some people would if they kid's a little brat, right? But they don't know it's a brat yet. It's just a baby. Like you can't figure that out until they're older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's a brat kid that's like 5 years old running around throwing doo doo at people, you're like, oh crap, nah. Maybe this is worth sacrificing the world for.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, like about I also love the movie. I like how they like comic book movies. I think they should start doing this more. Where like we know the lore.
Mhm.
We know. Don't it wasn't the movie wasn't bloated. They didn't give us stuff we already knew. They just went right into it.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four have been heroes for the past 4 years. They're legends, I guess. Famous. Everyone knows it. They did little flashbacks to them. They don't show us the expedition. They show us setting up with the suits in the expedition. But we already know that.
I love the way they showed the origin story by the audio on the Ted Gilbert show.
Yes.
We got the audio of the moment and what happened because we've seen the origin story twice already. We
Yes.
don't need to see it again. It's kind of like what I hope they do with the X-Men when the X-Men come into the
They just show up.
MCU. They just show up. We don't
already
get
know.
that this
Yes.
is how everybody became a
Yes.
mutant thing. Like I really liked the way that they did that. And yeah, Greg in the chat saying definitely giving up my kid. I would have tried to give up the Thing or Johnny first, though. I don't think Galactus wanted the Thing or Johnny, though.
No,
Yeah, they didn't want them.
no.
But nah, it's like, nah, man. Like, if you have a kid, you understand you're not going to want to give up your kid. I mean, maybe there would be a few people that would like try to do the outweigh the good situation of like
The greater
hey,
good. It's called the
yeah,
greater good theorem. Yes, the greater good
saving
theorem.
like the whole earth versus
Yeah.
the kid. But most people, especially at first, before they even start thinking about it, their reaction is going to be, "Hell no, I'm not giving up my kid for this."
Well, guys, before we continue talking about, let's talk, Matt. You haven't talked for a bit. You came back. Internet's good, Matt. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, Matt. Simple question. You like this film, yay or nay?
Yeah, I like this one. It was good, but I'll be honest. I've liked all the Fantastic Four movies except the Fantastic one.
Fan
But the
Four Stick?
other, yeah, the other two I like those ones. But yeah, I like that they put so much into this one, but it didn't feel like overwhelming at all. There wasn't too much plot to follow or anything like that. Just everything happened all at once. It was just something.
It was
But
it
yeah,
was the runtime was a minute 55. It's not, they didn't it wasn't 2 hours 30 like a lot of these superhero movies are. It was under two
I think it was
hours.
closer to an hour and a half, man. Because I was watching. I
Yeah.
downloaded it. I didn't go to the movies. Fuck it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that shit was done like by like hour 35, pretty much. Like that's when the credits started rolling on my timeline thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. It was tight. It was a nice tight movie, right? Because there are like you already know this stuff. Different
Yeah.
planet. It's more futuristic. They're respecting the viewer. It's like y'all don't need to like. It's like with Spider-Man. You don't need to see Uncle Ben die again. Here's
Oh
Peter
yeah, I
Parker.
totally agree that
You know what I
like
mean? Here's Peter Parker with his
I'm with
with
you
his hot
guys
aunt,
that
with his hot Aunt May.
yeah,
You know what
I'm
I
with you
mean?
guys that
How
it's
do you,
good that they
Mr.
didn't do
Tomei?
an origin story. Like
Yeah.
I'm with you guys on that. They did that like already like 20 times in all the other films before
Yeah.
this one and stuff, and it started getting stale. And so
Yeah.
I do like that. It's kind of like they followed sort of the Superman formula, movie we got to do a review for too, but like where they just jumped into the world that was already
Yes.
kind of preset. They did this with the Fantastic Four, and I thought that part of it worked kind of good for both. Because the
Mhm.
same thing with Superman, everybody's already seen like him being a baby and becoming Clark
We
Kent
have a
and everything
show
else.
that's like 10 seasons of it. You go watch that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you don't need to see that. Like, what were you guys' favorite moments of the film? Justin, what moment you were like it popped out to you? You were like, oh, I really like this. I like the way they did this.
Hmm. That one's actually kind of tough. There's a lot of movies that I watch that like, there's obviously one or two moments that are like super big. I thought that this one had like the reason why I overall enjoyed the movie is because I thought it had a bunch of like good things like tied together. I like the feel of it being kind of like they actually made that Earth like seem different with the way it was kind of like laid out and the
Yeah,
way it was kind of like
futuristically retro. Yeah.
yeah, that kind of situation. They did really good with that. Uh, but nah, there's like a couple of different scenes. Uh, I guess I mean I'll like take that thing that Adelia just said. I guess because like I thought that was pretty powerful for the reason of putting yourself in the mob shoes because you would agree with them. Like I said, if there was somebody else's kid that'd be sacrificed for the whole world to survive, you would be one of the people saying, "What kind of crap are you on? Like this is
Sacrifice the kid.
sacrifice the kid, bro. Like the whole world's about to die for like one kid." And then like, but if you're the parent, like being on both sides of that, like you would actually agree with both parties. It's not like a pick and choose situation. So I thought that was really cool just because of that, because you can have the discussion on that.
Matt.
It's funny you guys brought that part up. Because my favorite part was actually like the reverse of that. It's when Silver Surfer told her that in the situation the baby would give itself up to save everybody. Like to me,
If it was
she
older.
did.
If it was older,
Well,
yeah.
that's what she did.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, but like for me, it was the baby's part in it more than the mom. That was like, I don't know.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, yeah, because like she was the Shala Ball. What's his name? Shala Ball.
Yep.
Shout out to Shala Ball. Yeah, where they said, because like Justin said, she did it, or
Yeah.
they did, or whatever the hell they are. They're an alien, I guess, or they were okay. I don't know. They did it because they were older and they had a kid, and they made the sacrifice of saving the kid and the planet.
Yeah.
She's assuming if that baby was about 5 or 6, that baby would sacrifice itself.
Right, but with that being said, though, that's not a fair comparison on her part because of the fact
She
that
was a grown up.
no, right, but she's the parent. Any
Yeah.
parent would sacrifice themselves for their
Yes.
kid to be able to survive.
Yes.
So, like in that particular situation, but not necessarily would a kid choose to do that or whatever. But I will throw in they did Galactus pretty awesome. I do hate the fact that he kind of sort of gotten beat like a little too easy. But with that being said, like he looked and the whole like when they first showed up at that planet and it was like opening up and they get in there, oh, that was super freaking amazing. That was done super good.
Adelia, your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was Sue's speech. We already talked about that though, so I will also say that I loved Herbie, the robot. I thought they did Herbie really well. A great mix of digital and practical. I love that he had different like cassette tapes that were his eyes, one for home and one for space mode. I just loved the retrofuturism of the whole setting. Like it's the 60s, but it's not our 60s. It's sort of the same, but it's different. Um, I liked a lot of that. I thought the thing looked really, really good too. I thought the CGI and all the effects they did on him
Was
looked
it
great.
CGI or mocap?
It was a bit of both. Eben Moss Bacharach, the actor who played him, did
Cousin.
mocap performance. He did the mocap performance, and at times he was in a suit, but there was also a lot of CGI on that. I love the fact that they did the beard, and that him shaving his beard was just like with a grinder. That's how
Yeah.
he got rid of the beard. I loved
Yeah.
that. He has the beard in the comics, so that's not like some weird thing they did for the
Yeah.
movie. Um, I loved a lot about this movie. I thought Franklin, the baby, was really cute, but I thought there were at times some pretty poor baby CGI. You're gonna get that though, because it's really hard to do the uncanny valley thing with a baby or with a fully grown adult, even. But like I love the moment at the end. Sue obviously dies in the fight with Galactus, and Franklin brings her back to life. But the CGI and the baby kind of took me a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
out of
You
it. There.
clearly see. You clearly
Yeah.
see like that's the CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because CGI.
Unfortunately,
With CGI, I think the best
You
people can
can't
do
get a
is
baby to do what he
yeah.
needed to do in that moment, so it had to be CGI.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because with CGI, you want to get to the point where like you question is like, oh, is that CGI? Is that not? That one was clearly CGI. You know what I mean? It's clearly CGI. It wasn't.
Gregory,
Yeah,
I am not anti-baby.
yeah. You should.
I'd
Yeah,
like to
she's
point that
anti
out.
CGI baby.
yeah. Anti CGI baby.
Because I will say
Um,
the one bright spot
just
in this
like
film as
just
well.
like 30 coins. Demon Spider baby. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Shout
But
out
I'll
to
say one
OG
important
viewers.
thing to me as well is that like I don't see a lot of movies that talks about like family, that talks about like how people would love their children and stuff like that. This movie does that. Like so that was a refreshing thing to have how important the baby was, how much they loved the baby and how much they loved having a baby. It wasn't like a bad thing. It seemed negative in a lot of media these days to me. But in this one, that was refreshing to see like all that. And unfortunately, I'm not going to dock it a full point because of a fake death. But this movie is one of those movies that like gets hurt because of that. Because I actually think this kind of death scene situation isn't as bad as what's portrayed in a lot of other MCU films. But
Where
because
they
it's part
die
of
and
an
then they come
MCU,
back in a later film.
I would like to point
it
out
was in the same
that
film.
none of the people that Justin says die in a fake death have died.
No, yeah, no, but that's why it's called a fake death. They're not dead.
But you're docking it for something that did not happen. Sue
No, yeah,
actually died.
Who died?
Franklin
no,
brought her back. That's not a
that's
fake death.
That's
She's
why
dead.
I'm saying I don't hate this one as much as
Oh,
like some of the other things. The whole like,
she
oh
actually
my
died.
god, they're passed away, but like they come back. I thought this one was done a little bit better than a lot of the other stuff that's happened in the
Some of
MCU.
the ones in our Marvel rewatch series that Justin has said have been fake deaths have not been fake deaths. No one has thought that they died, and he thinks it's a fake death.
No, they did.
No.
They're like what?
Like
whole-
Natasha at the end of Winter Soldier.
She didn't die.
Exactly.
She got hit with that thing. Home dude's like, Natasha, come back to me, and everything else, and like then she starts moving. What
That's
is
not
that?
a fake death.
Yeah, she was just
When-
hurt and she got back up.
Yeah,
when you
that's not
say
a fake
things
death.
like that, you think she's dead. Fury thinks she's dead. He
No.
thinks that she sacrificed herself because that was the whole point of like
Yeah,
how much
Okay, we're not
power
getting
that
into
thing.
this.
We're not.
I'm
We're not.
just
I'm not
saying.
with. I'm not with you, John.
There's Justin thinks there's way too many fake deaths, and there's not.
Uh,
Anyways, I love this movie. I love the dynamic between the four of them. They felt like a family.
mhm.
And I didn't really ever get that dynamic out of Samuel L. Jackson did fake his own death in Winter Soldier. Yes, that was a fake death. That was not a fake death.
Wait, who's bringing up these comments?
Justin.
Oh, how does he have power? Okay,
He does.
okay.
They feel like a family in this
Yes,
movie.
absolutely.
I never got that out of the Fantastic Four in any of the previous ones, especially not Fan Four Stick, but I didn't really get it out of the Tim Story ones either. They feel like a family in this one. They have, the dinner every Sunday at 7:00, right on the dot.
Late.
They were late. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
You're late for dinner.
And
Yes,
the
we are.
thing just knows that something's up. Johnny's just oblivious until he's not. But I love that also in this movie, you got to see Johnny's actually really smart too. Now, I saw a linguist say there is no possible way that you can figure out an entire language based off one phrase and its translation, which I agree with because that's a little bit much. But
And
Johnny in this film figures out Shala Ball's languages based off the one phrase that she translates for him. Die with your people is what the phrase means. And he took that and translates the language, translates the recordings, talks to her, and is crucial in getting her to realize she needs to help save this Earth instead of letting Galactus destroy it, which leads to her knocking Johnny out of the way when Johnny's going to sacrifice himself at the end to get Galactus through the portal, and she does it. And I thought that was a great moment. I thought that was a great character moment for Johnny Storm. Johnny is so often portrayed as the guy that just wants the chicks. And I was really glad that they didn't go down that route with him here. That doesn't mean that's not part of his personality, and
Still
we
wants
won't
the
see
chick.
that. He still wants the chicks. He
But he's
calls
also smart.
calls Shala Ball at one point the sexy alien.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't. They didn't make that his whole personality
He's
in this, and I
multi-layered.
appreciated that.
Yes.
Well, to me, they turned in his want for the chicks into like a very good part of the story, whereas like it ends up becoming a good thing instead of just like a negative thing. Because the only reason why he even like tries to do all that with the
It's
Silver
because
Surfer
she's
is
the
because,
sexy alien.
yeah, exactly. So like he's doing that because he likes the chicks, but it
also
ends up
too,
just
man.
turning into a
Also
good
too,
thing in the
man.
story.
You know that linguist went full Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, that's where you draw the line. Homie's on fire, flying through the air. Shut up. All right, I hate those people. You know what I mean? I'm
Greg
Well, he
saying
did kind of look like Scooby Doo, like Freddie Prinze Jr. Like
Greg saying
He
Johnny
did.
looked like Freddie Prinze Jr. from Scooby Doo. Bring back
He did.
Chick Magnet Chris Evans. Go watch Deadpool and Wolverine if you want to see Chris Evans.
yes, yes. Get ripped apart by that bald lady. Like just
Yeah,
yeah. I forgot the bald lady's name. What's her name again?
Cassandra Nova.
Cassandra Nova. She's brother. She's the
Charles'
sister of-
twin sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you want to talk about, nature versus nurture right there. I mean, no, I
I
love
agree
the
with
film.
Alex.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like RDJ too.
Well, that's just his face. You can't really blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was born that way. But I'm with you, Adelia. I love the family dynamic. I like Justin, because during our Marvel Cinematic Rewatch, we kept talking about how like it's getting to the point where like now we're gonna start transitioning to everything's more like jokey. In this movie, the jokes were the jokes, and the serious moments were serious moments.
totally agree.
Like
We said that even about the last movie that we just talked about.
Age of
where, like,
Ultron?
there was jokes
Yeah.
in it, but like whoever did that movie
Should
had space between the jokes and space between the serious moments.
Mhm.
In this particular movie, I wouldn't even say this was, to me, there wasn't even a lot of jokes. There were some jokes
the
and some
jokes
like funny
were-
moments, but like they were
jokes
natural
the thing-
comedy stuff.
Yeah, the thing
Comedy.
and Johnny just messing with each other. That's
Yeah,
That
exactly,
was
but-
so it was definitely a drama.
yeah, the jokes were like Johnny gets the Johnny Storm figure out of the box of cereal and he's making it say flame on, and the thing takes it and crushes it.
And
That's
flame
a
off.
natural joke.
Yeah.
The stuff with the the thing needing to spice up the sauce that Herbie's making. That was
Yeah.
funny to me. That's natural. It wasn't,
Or
Guardian
the dinner
Stew level
table.
forced jokes.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
even
at the dinner table. They're having fun. They're setting up, and it was more lighthearted. It was pretty good. But that's what I like about the family dynamic aspect of it. We talk about the scene where she's does that. Everyone's like kind of like her pulpit, and she's outside. My favorite is like the scene before that. I think a couple scenes before that, where her and Reed are talking in their room, and she's like, you've already thought about this. You've already
Oh, the
thought about
argument. I loved the
yeah,
argument.
you've already thought about giving up our kid. You just haven't said anything out loud. And because and she says, just the way I am, I have to think of evil stuff to stop the evil stuff. And then she tells him, the way you are is hurting me. You need to fix your mentality because this isn't right.
Yeah.
And Reed, he's in love with her. So as the movie progresses, he's slowly, moving from think of every catastrophe known to man, stop it to I'm just gonna think about what's happening right now to save my son. The
I
bait and
love
switch.
I
I
love
like that scene. I love that scene. A lot of people make fun of these movies a lot. People are like, oh, look, how deep can these movies be? Blah blah blah. Blah. That scene right there showed you the complicated nature of you're Reed Richards. You're the smartest man on this planet, Earth 616. You have all these
Earth 828. They were in Earth
828.
828.
I mean 828. 616 is the
Sacred timeline, yeah.
yeah. So 828, Baxter Building. You're the man, and you thought of all these plans. And one of the plans is actually just giving up my son. But you
Yeah.
don't want to do that.
I do agree with Jay a little bit that part wasn't fair on Reed because he's just trying to save all of Earth. But I totally understand where Sue's coming from in that
Exactly.
dynamic. Like
Exactly.
they're both in a way right. And I was watching The Break Room on New Rock Stars earlier today, and from Monday. It was Monday's episode, and Eric Voss was on there talking about how they don't specifically say in this film that Reed is neurodivergent, but he's sort of portrayed that way, where he has to think of all the worst possible scenarios and how he can stop them and stuff like that, and how it just really made a lot of people feel seen. And I wanted to point out that the representation in that matter was really good in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree with Jay as well. Like, for one, like, he's been that kind of person the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's a person that, like, because of how smart he is, even before he becomes Stretchy Man, right? Because of how smart he is, he's there to, like, do a bunch of things, and he's not just there. Maybe it wasn't, like, set on him to, like, necessarily save the Earth, but he's this person that everybody relies on to get a lot of things done, and he has to think about all the things that could happen. So even before he was a superhero, so when they got together and got married, she knew who he was. So that's the part where I would say, like, that's kind of a little unfair to him because she knew, like, how he was this whole entire time, right? But at the same time, I can also go,
Children change you.
Well, in the particular situation that they're in, like, he needs to, like, recognize, hey, she needs something else from him for that moment. But, like, and everything else. So I can see, like, what Adelia said a little bit from both sides.
Yeah.
You got a drag race going on by you, Matt? What?
Oh, it's
Nah, that guy was pretty far away.
Yeah.
That was really loud.
Matt, what's your opinions on all this, Matt? Give me your 2 cents.
Just for me, they just got rid of Galactus way too easy. Like, you said he took down 10 planets and all this shit, and just like he just gets taken away. I don't know. It was too simple to me, kind of. But that was my only gripe.
I think he's gonna come back because
he's coming back.
Yeah, they don't kill him. They just teleport him somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's just teleported.
No, yeah, I would have way more problems if he was supposed to be finished.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So like they because I'm with you, man. I get if they like killed him, now I would have had a problem. I was like, no. But it shows you. So they teleport him, so they don't beat him. They just kind of outsmart him. You know, they kind of trick him and outsmart him. And there's a variable he didn't think of. His servant basically betrays him.
Yeah.
So, because at the moment where he's coming back, they lost because he's coming back. And then
Well, I mean, you could say big man sacrificing himself still would have kind of beat him.
well, if Johnny, yeah, maybe, yeah, you could see possibly, but we don't know. That's hypothetical. But his servant betraying him is what really that put everything over the top. Where it's like he didn't account for that. He accounted for them for, because that's why he was coming back. But he didn't account for her to grow a conscience,
Yeah.
because she's helped him kill 10 planets already,
Mhm.
Well, the
and now
one
she's,
thing,
you know,
yeah, I was gonna say the one thing I can like
hubris.
respect for this movie is thinking more about the details. One of those details is getting all the people away from the big city so that a bunch of people isn't dying. They actually give like a time span, a reference of him, like, oh, they know he's coming. He's at like,
Mhm.
He's near
Saturn, and
Mars.
now he's
He's
at
at Mars.
Mars and everything
That
else.
that drove me
So,
nuts for one reason. Very rarely are the planets all in a line like that, where he could be by Jupiter here and then also pass by Mars at the
right.
same trajectory. That part drove me a little nuts. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. But with that, it was like you had a time thing, so they had more time, but time passed. So they
Yeah, it
had,
gave it a
unlike
time reference. Yeah.
Superman, unlike in the Superman movie, that's a gripe I would have with it, is how quick they were able to get everybody out of the like city portion before they had that
They
fight.
weren't, but in Superman they didn't. There's still people there.
There's some
Anyway.
people, but they evacuated a crap ton.
No, there was still a lot.
This is not a Superman review. You guys are going to
Yeah.
do one of those soon, hopefully.
Yes.
I also want to say that this with Sue at the end using her powers to push Galactus back is the once he had Franklin and she knew he had Franklin is the ultimate, my baby's trapped under the car. I suddenly have the strength to lift up the car so that
Yes.
somebody can get the baby out from underneath
Yes.
it.
Yes.
That I really appreciated that as well. People in the chat saying Galactus doesn't have a ship, which is true.
Yes.
Jay's scared
He's
for
off
what's going
ship.
to happen to Shalabal when Galactus realized what happened, but he doesn't have his ship. And Alex saying, "Wonder what Galactus' ship is doing." That's interesting. That might be something that they deal with on in a Doomsday, which we'll talk about probably by the end of this with the post-credit scene. Greg saying at least he didn't fall for the first trap, which is true. He didn't. He thought he outsmarted him. I really like the end with Galactus. I think knowing that Galactus didn't get just got sent somewhere else, teleported somewhere else is
Yeah.
interesting because it's like, did he get teleported to the 616 universe now? Did they teleport him somewhere else in the 828 universe? Like, because
Where
if
is
they
he?
teleported him to the 616 universe, now he can come terrorize our Earth and our Avengers and everything that we've been doing eventually in a
Because
film down the line.
Right.
Adelia, connective tissue, Thunderbolts. I know this is not a Thunderbolts review. Post credit scene of the Thunderbolts, they find out there's
There's the
something
Fantastic
that's
Four
before
ship.
the ship. Yes.
Mhm.
So he's probably here, and they probably have heard he's here. So they've probably figured out some.
It's that or it's something else.
Maybe you're right.
I
Here's
mean,
what I think.
Because
Yeah.
something has to happen at 616 for them to come here.
Yeah.
So it's either Galactus or something else happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think there's a strong possibility after that post-credit scene that ship we saw in Thunderbolts doesn't even have the Fantastic Four on it, but it has Franklin on it with Doctor Doom.
but yeah, I do, because I'm about to have to go. I do want to say like my one critique, but I will say this too, is like, nah, fair. I mean, you can bring up like other films because that's what we compare things to. Like, how good was this done? Oh,
I'm not the one who said that. It was Adelia, dipshit.
No,
What
I
is
just
wrong
said
with you?
don't go into a ton of details on Superman because you're going to do your own
Exactly.
Superman review.
Exactly.
I'm saying you can bring it up because you were apologizing because you was like, hey, I know this isn't a Thunderbolts review. I'm just saying that's what you can do because
Oh,
of the
okay.
fact that we
Okay.
compare things.
All right. Got you.
Okay,
All
but
right.
my one critique, and it's not for this film in particularly, it's for the future. Franklin Richards, like the most powerful, like ridiculously person superhero ever
I got a
created.
question about that.
Is like that's going to be. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Like as he gets older, I don't know how far Franklin Richards is going to go. How many more movies? Like
He's an Omega level mutant. He's a very
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
important
Like this,
character.
He's already 4
can
years
make
old. He's already
this-
4.
yeah, but this Franklin Richards can do things like make pocket dimensions and stuff. It's like crazy what he can do.
Franklin
it's like-
Richards at one point in time in the comics controls Galactus.
I got a
Yeah.
question about that.
That's crazy.
I got a question. So your dad is rubbery, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And your mom can disappear and manipulate
Mhm.
light.
And you were born next to a black hole.
So the black hole's the reason he's God? I'm confused here. Like,
He's an Omega level mutant.
Yeah.
Who
okay,
is
but yeah, fine. I don't know what that means. I've never heard of that. You got to
Right.
explain that to me.
He's crazy powerful.
Omega level mutants are the most powerful mutants. Like Jean Grey's an Omega level mutant, I believe. Like the most powerful mutants, and he can do so much.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, he literally brings his mom back to life
Yeah.
because he wants to.
I know that because
Like,
I
as a
start thinking to
baby.
myself. I'm starting to think to myself like, is it the black hole magic? You know, that's the
Well,
magic, cosmic energy.
he's
'Cause,
got the power cosmic, which is like the power of the universe, Ferris.
So stretchy man and invisible woman make cosmic power. Is that what we're
So
saying?
like, you know how they have the TA or whatever, I think
TVA?
I'm missing a letter, TVA, and like how they were showing us that there was like problems like throughout the different universes and everything and times and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like Franklin Richards can fix that because he wants to.
Mhm.
Like, and that to me gets like so overpowered and like ridiculous at points. It's going to be like, how do you handle a character like that? And like I said, it's not a critique for this particular movie because I think it works fine. And because he has the powers, he's able to bring his mom back to life, which, you know, overall I think was, you know, okay and decent. But it's like, what the hell? Like when you introduce this character, yeah, you're introducing something that like, hell, maybe even our God that we believe on earth can't do.
Because it's kind of like in the comics. I know about Adam Warlock because technically in the comics, Adam Warlock like helps save the universe, and he's like an OP superhero in the comics. But in the movies, they made him a buffoon. So they kind of subverted that. But they're not going to do that with Franklin Richards. They're not going to make him an idiot because. So I'm with you. Like,
I mean, the way they handle the comic books is maybe a way they do it now. He realizes how powerful he is and everything else, and he either wears something or he does something to where he can't like access his powers except for like in special occasions or something like that's how they try to.
Or does he do like a Dr. Manhattan thing where he like exiles himself to Mars because he's too powerful and he can kill everybody?
Nah, he's still around like in the comic books. I actually read up on it, but like he actually does something. I can't remember if it's like
where's Coy when I need him?
I can't remember if he like puts on something that kind of like
talk to Coy,
nerfs his powers or whatever, and then like he can like come out of that and utilize his powers and stuff. But yeah, that was the only thing I'm worried.
Because those characters, man, they're pretty. I'm with you, Justin. Those are pretty hard characters to write because you're like, what stops them? What stops him? Like
nothing can stop him.
Like exactly, like with Superman, you have a clear he's clear weakness.
Him as a baby doesn't. It's not as bad because it's a baby that can't like, you know, obviously natural instincts was
when he's 12.
I want my mom back.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing. So that's the only way a baby's going to be able to enhance the power is like it's got to want something. It's not going to understand all the stuff going on. But even as a baby, you can understand your mom's dead in front of you, even at like almost a newborn at that point, right? But the problem is when they get older, it can actually think about things. When you're 5 years old and something bad happens, it's not as bad. Like death happens, right? But like you're a person that think like at 5 years old, you may not want to believe that. So like you start doing all kinds of crazy stuff to stop the natural order of things.
Which then ruins something unintentionally that you need to fix somehow, some way. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Yeah,
well, I got to go, so I'm sorry, but I have to drop out.
All right.
Good one.
Later, Justin. We got some comments. I'll take Justin out of there. In the chat here, Alex saying likely Franklin Richards is going to make a world that combines all universes together from an incursion. I think that might be how we get to Secret Wars. That's Doom's Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah. Greg saying, imagine two Galactuses show up. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Does every universe have a Galactus?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because if every universe has another implication of the same person, so in Earth 828, there's another Steve Rogers, then, right?
Not necessarily.
Not exactly. So not necessarily. So there may not be a Galactus in Earth 616.
The people that are in every universe are Nexus beings.
Okay.
They talk about that in WandaVision, I think. In every universe, she's the Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
But I don't know that that's the case with Galactus. Galactus is older than our universe, technically, in the comics. He's from
Okay.
what was existed before the Big Bang. So, yeah, Alex saying unless Galactus is a Nexus being, which I don't know if he is. Um, Jay said the pull of that black hole was strong as hell, which helped her give birth, which is true. Alex also saying maybe he got his powers from Shalabal touching the baby from the womb. That was a crazy scene.
That
But
was I was that was it was close. It was- Man, you know what? I also want to talk about,
Galactus is not a celestial unless they redefine him as a celestial in the MCU.
yeah. Can we? They need to figure out. Can they comment on the hand that came out of of Earth? They still haven't commented on that.
That exists in
Wait, no, they
that
have.
celestial exists in Captain America: Brave New World.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, my bad. I forgot about that movie.
I still
Um,
haven't seen that movie, but I know that it's in it.
Kevin Feige made some comments that I'm not a big fan of about that movie, which it pisses me off. But
Well, we're not going to talk about those right
about
now.
that. Matt, what about you, man? We haven't heard a lot about you from you, man. What do you think?
About what?
Well, we talked about Franklin, the overpowered character. How do they do that? How do they make it feel, organic instead of shoehorned? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I always say it, but I was always a bigger DC fan. But I did see this one video about the like top uh, Marvel characters, power wise and stuff, and like people don't even know who these people are. Like the number one person was someone called like Hugh shall not be named or something like that, or the creator or some shit like that. It's supposed to be Stan Lee. He's like the most powerful person in
Yeah.
the Marvel universe. But then there were other characters too that I'd never ever heard of these people, and they were just talking about the shit that they did. It was pretty crazy. Um, yeah, it'll be cool to. I thought that Kang was like the biggest powerful family member from the Richards family. You know what I mean? From what I saw and what I heard.
Yeah, yeah. Wasn't Kang Franklin?
Kang is not Franklin. No. Kang is a distant descendant, like from like the 31st century of Reed Richards, but he's not Franklin. His name might be Franklin. I don't think it is. I don't remember what
Kang is
Kang's
a
real
di-
name.
So
But
Kang's
Kang is a descendant of Reed Richards. Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? He's a powerful entity. Too bad, who is an idiot. But so I guess they got to scrap that guy.
Well,
once they bring him back.
if you listen to Kevin Feige, he said that they were thinking about doing that anyways, even before the Jonathan Majors stuff. So
Yeah, I don't
we
believe
might
him.
have gotten Doomsday anyways. So
I
I
don't
don't
believe
know.
the guy.
I don't believe him about that either.
The man.
Shug saying Galactus is a cosmic entity, which is true, and frankly can make galaxies, which is also true. That's actually what I kind of thought that Sue was going to see when she walked back around the TV fireplace thing in the room. There was not Franklin with Doctor Doom, but Franklin like creating a pocket galaxy in between his hands.
Well, let's what did it? We're at 43 minutes. Let's talk about the end credit scene, right? Doctor Doom shows up. It's 4 years later. So they flash forward. I like how they paced the years and the months of this movie.
I thought the pacing of the time and the way time moved was really good in this movie.
Yeah, because they were in space, and then they come back down, and it was like, oh, they finally returned after a month. So they're up there in a month. They were up there for a month. So they yeah, exactly, man. Kevin Beeline, exactly.
The next Avengers film is literally called Avengers Doomsday, Alex. It's not Kang Dynasty anymore.
It was called King Dynasty.
It was
exactly. He lied.
But he says they were thinking about pivoting away from Kang Dynasty before they'd announced it, but they were thinking about pivoting away from it. That's what Kevin said.
Yeah, and
like
I thought about getting a Jersey Mike sandwich instead of eating pizza. But guess what? I had pizza this afternoon. He's a liar. So Doctor Doom, that's Robert Downey Jr. Has to be, right?
Yes. They came out. I believe it was Matt Shackman, the director of this film, came out and said that post-credit scene was directed by the Russos, and that was Robert Downey Jr.
Shackman, what did Shackman do?
He was the director of this in WandaVision.
There it is. I think him, and the director of Thunderbolts. Weren't they some of the creators of some of the TV shows? Thunderbolt guy.
I don't think the Thunderbolts guy was. I think he did Beef, that TV show Beef.
Oh,
But he's going to do X-Men, which I'm very excited about now.
I'm excited. I like the way that is. You know what? People make this like Pedro Pascal's and everything, and you know
I
what?
I couldn't like I didn't take me out that Pedro was in this. I thought he did a fantastic job as Reed Richards. I thought he was great.
And you know what, Adelia? Thank God he's in everything.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's good. He is so good. So there's a story where he tried to do a mid-Atlantic accent because they're in New York, but not like a New York accent. So like he wanted to be more, and you can feel
That's
he
sort of
kept-
like 60s TV guy
yeah,
accent.
yeah. So you could feel that they kept some of that in there because apparently Kevin Feige was like, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? But I
Well,
think
no, he got so good at it, apparently.
yeah. So I think Matt Sheckman kept his the dialogue and stuff like that. And you know what? I think and for two British people, not bad American accents for the two Brits. Shout out to them. But yeah, man, Pedro, man, shout out to you, dog. You do some good stuff, man. I do wish they gave him a little bit more of the wingtips. You see it
I
at the
think
end.
we'll get that.
Yeah, I need more. I need more.
Yeah.
I need some Paulie Walnuts wingtips. You know what I mean? Y'all don't know who Paulie Walnuts is. Or
Yep.
you do, Matt. You know what that is. You know what I mean, Matt. Give me more of that. Give me more of that. You can't watch that show, Adelia. It's Sopranos.
No.
Well, you could. There is therapy in
I'm
that
not
show.
watching The Sopranos. No, thank you.
Listen. But yeah, so I like this movie, man. I'm a big fan of this movie.
I love this movie.
I love this movie, man, and I'm really appreciating now that they're done explaining stuff to us.
It really does feel that they're done doing the origin thing.
Yeah,
Show rather than expose
yeah.
through
Because
speech, I think is
Yeah.
the way to do it. So, like so many people who go see these movies, now not everybody obviously, but so many people who go see these movies already know the origin stories from the comics.
25 years, man. We've been doing this for 25 years.
The MCU has been going on since 2008.
Yeah.
Justin's right when he says that the origin stories got repetitive after a while because they did.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is basically Tony Stark, just slightly different scenarios.
Did I ever tell you it took me 4.5 years to finish that movie?
Yes, you have.
She was crazy.
But I love that in Thunderbolts we got the mental health movie, and we got Sentry, and we got a little bit of an origin for Sentry, but we didn't get the complete origin of Sentry like that. We didn't see him enter the medical study and then go and then all of that. We got it through backstory and through memories in the void. I loved that. And then we get this, which is completely in another dimension, and I'm so glad there were no like mentions of like I was concerned that maybe there'd be like an alternate universe Howard Stark in here working at the Baxter building with Reed Richards or something, and there's none of that. It's just them and this universe, and you don't get a hint of anything connected to the rest of the MCU until the post-credit scene with Doctor Doom, and then it's looking forward, not back. I really appreciated that.
Yeah, the mole man was
the Mole
hilarious.
Man.
No.
We got to talk about Paul Walter Hauser.
He killed it. He
He
showed
did not
up.
have a lot to do in this film, but he was phenomenal.
He was amazing, man. He scored 15 in 8 minutes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
one of them off the benches. He checked. It's in. He was awesome. And my favorite thing is like how like him and Reed don't like each other, right? But Sue is like because it shows that Sue is like a diplomat and she's basically a part of the UN, basically. I like when they panned and like Latveria. Latveria no one was there. I was like, interesting, yeah, Latveria. And then Reed loses it. He's like, listen here, mole person, listen here. He's like, so come on. It's like he's like, and then
Now,
she's like,
I love this comeback to Johnny, which is I didn't dress you like that, Johnny.
yeah, exactly. And Johnny was like, man, it's like, butter me up, let's go.
Yeah.
That made
Can you
me die.
turn down the lights? It's too bright in here.
Oh my god,
That was
he was
great. I love
awesome.
that we got a glimpse of Subterranea. I'd love if we get another Fantastic Four movie in this universe. That
Yeah,
like if we do Doomsday and all that, and they go back to the 828. I'd love to see more of Subterranea. I think that'd be fun.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I thought that was cool that they added Mole Man and all that shit. Like that was
Yeah.
a big surprise to me. I was like, "What? Fucking Mole Man? Get out of here!"
Yeah, I really liked it, man. Shout out to the Baxter Building, one of my
The
favorite
Baxter
buildings.
building was cool.
You know what? There's a lot of iconic buildings in
Mhm.
the MCU. Shout out to the Baxter Building. There's the Baxter Building. There's Avengers Tower. There's
Now the Watchtower.
now the Watchtower. Um, there's J. Jonah Jameson's newspaper
Daily
people's
Bugle.
the Daily Bugle.
There's the Oxcourt building.
The Oxcorp Building. Avengers. What is the one in upstate New York? Avengers, like
It's just a base. I don't know
Avengers
what it's
base.
called.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah, the
So, like,
Sanctum Sanctorum.
Sanctum
There,
Sanctorum. Yes.
there wasn't a shot of a street in New York with a Sanctum Sanctorum or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I really
Completely
like how it was
detached.
completely detached. Yeah.
And you know what? And it's alleviating. I think they're definitely listening.
Hmm.
They're definitely listening. Where people are like, "Oh my god, I gotta watch this and this to watch this." You know what I mean? Now it's you didn't need to watch anything to watch Fantastic Four. You didn't. You didn't need to watch any of the TV shows. You didn't need to watch any of the movies. You just need to watch this.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's one thing Kevin Feige talked about that I do agree with is that it became with them releasing stuff on Disney Plus, there was just too much that people felt they had to watch to get to know what was going on in the movies. And
It became
like
homework.
it became almost like homework. And when the some of the Disney Plus series, not that great. Others
They
are
missed-
fantastic.
They missed more than they hit.
They miss more than they hit. But like when you feel like you got to sit down and watch 6 hours to go understand an almost 3 hour movie, it gets to be a lot to do.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that this movie turned out so well. I'm glad that Thunderbolts turned out so well. I'd like to still do a Thunderbolts review because I'd love to talk about that movie.
You know, let's do it.
So
Do it.
we
I
should
don't
do
know.
one of those.
What I like about that movie is they subverted centuries origins. In the comics, he's like this, like OP. He's an overpowered,
character.
yeah,
That's
just
like it's stuff like that that makes me think that like they're gonna handle Franklin Richards in a way that it's not gonna seem like oh he's just too powerful and everybody hates him because of it.
yeah.
So yeah,
But you know what? We don't hate you, Franklin.
no.
I just don't understand you yet.
That
I
baby
don't
was
hate
really
you.
cute, and the one thing that I wanted to say earlier, but I didn't, is the scene with Reed when he has Franklin and they're at that machine where he'd been scanning Vanessa's stomach, Sue's stomach, and she turned her stomach invisible so he could see the baby. That was a really good scene. But when he has the baby with him and he tells him, "I've spent so much time trying to figure out what you could be. I'm gonna just let you tell me now," was really touching. I thought. Great
Yeah,
scene with
man.
Pedro.
It's amazing, man, because like I said, man, that these people, you know, people are like, oh, what can you do in these movies? Bro, these scenes, man, with these emotional moments, people forget, man, like movies, the base of every movie is dialogue. It's dialogue and talking. That's it. People think like, you know, the set pieces are nice. You know, everyone likes those. Well, but those little moments, man, of dialogue, those little scenes of intense love and compassion and wonder take you ever. This is the Marvel's first family. This was one of Marvel's tentpoles. It was them, Spider-Man, and X-Men. That's what it was. It was those three. And we finally got one, Nadelia.
They did it right.
We finally
They
got one.
did it right.
We finally got one. We have, you know, we have a bunch of Spider-Man that we love.
Yeah.
The first two Spider-Man with Tobey, the Tom Holland ones, people are big fans of. I'm a big fan of the Tom Holland ones. You know, retroactively, people are now liking the Andrew Garfields. I think it's
They're fine.
They're fake people who say they love them now. I disagree. X-Men, we got X1 and X2, and then
So many good X-Men movies, so many
many
bad X-Men movies in equal
exactly
measure.
exactly. But with Fantastic Four,
We
we
hadn't
had
gotten a good one.
no man.
I know there are people that love that first the first one from
I didn't.
2005 from Tim Story. I know that there are even people who like Rise of the Silver Surfer. I don't know anyone who likes Fan Four Stick. But
That movie was completely destroyed by the studio because they ended up firing Justin Trank,
just Josh Trank.
Josh
But
Trank.
yeah, that movie, Sue doesn't even go to space in that movie. She lets the boys go. And then when she hears something happening when they get back, she gets hit with a blast of energy from the ship, and that's how she gets her powers. I'm not joking about that. That's what happens.
I know that. I watched it. The other day. I decided myself, let me give this one a try, and I shouldn't have done that. And also,
I saw that in the theater opening day, Ferris.
you know what, Adelia, you shouldn't have done that.
No, I
All
should
right,
not have.
you shouldn't have done that. I like, and he's into like The Thing. Both horrible designs until this one.
This was a good design, yeah. This
And
one's like Jay just said, this is the best Ben design. Not too rocky, enough clothes. He had great clothes. His hat was
yo,
great.
man, my boys was dripped out, Jay. Yo, man, if I could dress like Reed Richards and Ben Grimm every day, I would. I so would. No lie, Delia.
Yeah.
Them boys was swagged out to the toe, and I loved every minute of it. I hated Michael Chiklis. I hated his voice. I hated his voice, but I like how Cousin kept his voice, and it was good.
Justin is back.
Where did you go?
Had to go family stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, we actually were about to leave, so
Yeah. Jay also saying Franklin's favorite book is something no 4-year-old should be reading. That is true. The fact that Sue is trying to make him see the normal books are also fun is funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. That was
But
nice.
did y'all give y'all score already?
No.
We're about to right now.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Adelia, hit me.
4.5 out of 5. I love this movie.
Okay, Matt.
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
All right, Justin.
Man, if he would have said like a 2.5, I'd have died laughing. But straight up,
where he
100%.
flips it, where it's I hate this movie. This movie stinks. Four stars.
But nah, man, like I give this movie a 4. I liked a lot of the things in it. I love the fact that like there was a lot of serious moments, which I haven't heard. I listened to what y'all were saying whenever I was actually going to grab my son, but like the serious moments wasn't ruined by jokes. Hopefully, this is a turn another page of MCU where they're actually finding out that that's not as cool to do all the time. So it looks like maybe they learned a lesson on this particular film. So hopefully it keeps going with more films in the future, because I think those are moments that you really need to like get involved in the movie. And then the jokes can be this little side thing that happens, like when they should happen, when there's nothing real important going on. But I really liked it for that. I don't really have too many like negative things about the movie overall. Like, it's not my favorite MCU movie of all time, but it's somewhere. But I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
I agree with everyone. 4 it is.
I gave it a 4.5.
Well, do
4.5.
She didn't agree with everyone.
Oh my god, what the freaking
Loser.
halves.
What is wrong with a 4.5, Ferris?
Say 4, Adelia. Just say 4.
No, because it's a
Yeah.
4.5.
I don't know what. Okay, sure, whatever.
It's not quite a 5. She likes it better than a 4, but she can't say 5 because 5 would be perfection, and I don't think this movie's perfect.
Then just say 4.
No, Jay is saying shout out to Marvel for making Reed look like a normal human being in the scene where they are all struggling to put the car seat in the correct way. Relatability was nice. I can definitely relate.
That was a nice way to end the movie. That was a good way to end the movie.
Yeah.
You have to thread it. You thread it, then you click it.
Yeah.
I did thread it. Like, no, do it again.
That was really funny. And Sue's just standing there with the baby, like, come on. Alex is giving it 4 out of 5. Jay also giving it 4 out of 5. I'm sticking with my 4.5 out of 5, Ferris, and it's the official rating on Letterboxd. You can give half scores. So
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Letterboxd need to fix that.
Yeah.
No. We'll have this up on our Letterboxd very soon.
Follow us on
Follow
Letterboxd.
us on Letterboxd. There is a link in the description of this episode. Greg is also giving it a 4 out of 5. I guess I just like it a little bit better than all of you.
Yeah.
No, I like it as much as you. I just don't like halves.
That's fine.
Well, I'm just saying that like to give something like a 4.5 or a 5 to me is like super high up there. Like I said, I don't think this is my favorite MCU movie. It's my favorite since the last Spider-Man that was done, like No Way Home, I think it was. So like,
Yes.
but
I can't wait till we
there
get a
are
new
movies
one,
before
man.
that. Yeah, there are movies
Um,
before that I'd say I
Alex
like better.
saying this is what the multiverse saga should have been, make movies in different universes. I agree with that, and I think it's actually good. We've got the X-Men in one universe right now. We've got Deadpool in his universe. We've got Fantastic Four in their universe, and then we've got the 616. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, because like we said a little bit earlier, now you don't have to watch all that extra stuff. You just watch this one, right? Just watch it initially. You don't, like Adelia said, like having to watch 6 hours to understand 3 hours, and just like, this movie, you didn't need to watch anything
Mm-hmm.
beforehand. Just
Yeah,
come
because
in
like
and watch.
there were a lot of people who went into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and didn't understand why Wanda was suddenly a bad guy. Like, why? What happened to Wanda? They didn't watch WandaVision. That was
Mhm.
9 episodes of television that they either don't have Disney Plus or decided not to watch. And they were like, "What happened?" And it didn't get explained very well because they sort of feel like it's just getting rehashed and stuff like that. So yeah, um, Jay's taking a point 0.5 away for how many times Shalabal clipped Ben and Johnny with her surfboard. That was another thing I wanted to bring up that was really cool. Her surfing the black hole and like away from
It's pretty
bending
nice.
the shot the beams that Johnny was firing at
Yeah,
her.
because it was going.
Yeah, that was really cool.
All right. Well, on that note, guys, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're listening on the audio feed, every show is on their individual feeds. So look up post credits. Just post credits, Adelia?
Post credits LGRN. That'll
Post
get you
credits
stuff.
LGRN. Look it up on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube Music. Hit the 5 stars, rate and review. We really appreciate it. I haven't forgotten about you, my audio people. I have not forgotten you. But without further ado, let's tell people where they can find us. Adelia, where can people find you?
You can find me on this channel on the Rewatchers Council. Thursdays, the Buffy Rewatchers Council, that's live at 3 p.m. Pacific. The Angel Rewatchers Council is Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific. The MCU rewatch that we're doing is on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific. I won't be on the episodes this week, but I will be back next week.
All right, Justin.
I think you need to change where can we find you to like maybe what are you up to? Because
Yeah.
of course you can find us here. Of course you can find us here.
Answer
You
the
can
question.
find us
man.
on the channel
Just
that
answer
we
the
do.
question. I was talking about the shows, Justin, in the days. Answer the
Justin does
goddamn question.
You can find. I just said you can find us here, and we'll be doing reviews. We got
Man,
Superman
you're
to
such
do.
a
We should have done
smart
did that,
ass, man. You're such a smart ass.
bruh.
Matt, what about you, my man? A special guest.
No, I'm chilling. Yeah, just here reviewing movies and TV shows.
All right, perfect. You
Ferris,
guys.
where can we find you?
Well, just like Adelia said, every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll be on those episodes on the Rewatchers Council, as well as Fridays live at 5 o'clock on our sports channel. Me and Caleb do Good Friends, Better Rivals, where we talk Giants, New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, and smattering of news of the NFL. You can find us every Friday, 5 o'clock Pacific at a new time. But yeah, that's pretty much where else. And then yeah, we're gonna do the Superman one in as soon as possible.
Also, this weekend over on the Good Friends Better Rivals channel, we're doing watch-alongs for WWE SummerSlam, 3 p.m. Pacific on both Saturday and Sunday.
Boom.
Nice.
You know it.
We also
So there's
have
that.
a couples therapy where me and Brandy talks about Rebecca, the old movie.
Yeah, that's coming soon. So,
It's so old that they didn't know what color was.
Yeah.
black and white movie.
All right. Adelia, send us on out.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you next time.